It's so funny when the Quartering and Destiny have worse positions on this than Keemstar, who came into my Twitch chat and like congratulated me for getting my stuff back
I
and said
saw
swatting was
that.
awful.
I saw that. Yeah, here. Congratulations getting your stuff back. Hopefully they catch who's responsible for swatting you. I actually think this is really lovely. It's kind of like it's like a very unreliable moral barometer that just this once seems to have aligned with the cosmos. And it was for you.
I was
You
really
made
hoping.
him have a good take. So I figure most of the people who watch me probably already know about this, but there's a person called a Keffals, not plural. There's only one of her, despite the S at the end, and much like Jonathan Joestar, uh, she seems to keep getting into a lot of wacky adventures. Perhaps the wackiest of which took place recently in her banger video, "My Life is in Danger, I Need Your Help." Don't worry, it's much less funny than the title implies.
On August 5th, I was woken up by London police services pointing an assault rifle in my face
Banger intro. Fledgling content creators, take notes.
at my home. I was told later that at 6 a.m. that morning, an email impersonating me was sent to every city councillor in the City of London, Ontario, stating that I have an illegal firearm, that I killed my mother, and that I plan to go to City Hall and shoot every cisgender person I see. I was shown the email while I was being interrogated in police custody. While the emails were riddled with grammatical errors and read more like something a troll would say than something I would sincerely say, the police took it seriously. Not only that, the email said my name was Clara Sorrenti, but also stated what my dead name was. It was an obvious
Very, a very known thing that trans women do. You know, I know a lot of trans women. They love to do this. Okay, when they're gonna do something wacky, they tell you their dead name. It's a common practice. Can't say that I get it myself.
attempt to make the police humiliate me. During the arrest, the police officer referred to me by my dead name. I was booked in the station under my dead name. The police, when talking to my mother, referred to me as her son. This is despite the fact that I have run as both a member of parliament and a member of provincial parliament under my name, Clara Sorrenti. The fact that a fake email led to London Police Services booking me under my dead name reveals the prejudice that many police have towards transgender people.
You really think about that for a second, okay? So you've got Clara here. She's got a legal name, Clara, in which she is registered not only as a citizen, but as previous attempted political officials. Been her name for years and years and years, And then some misspelled email gets thrown around, and she gets booked and filed under the dead name based on nothing other than the email, as opposed to all the legal information that they have on her. Anything you'd look up, like in a government database, will give you Clara. So went out of their way to use the dead name, which, kind of explains how these police were so eager to believe the whole trans woman's going to go and shoot up every cis person, whatever. They probably think that's a common threat.
This is despite the fact that the email contained my real name before ever even mentioning my dead name. This is one of the property bags returned to me after I was released from custody. All of the property bags returned to me have Roberts written on them. Roberts was my last name until I legally changed my name first to Kaylee Sorrenti on January 25th, 2012, and then later to Clara Sorrenti on March 7th, 2018. When I changed my name, I took my mother's maiden name. My last name has not been Roberts in over 10 years. The only reason that Roberts is on the property bags is because I was booked under my dead name. A search warrant was issued, which I have a copy of here. They were looking for a handgun, ammunition, cartridges, cleaning tools, a gun case, cell phones, and computers.
Oh yeah, sorry. Chat is reminding me to point out, just to be fair on the issue, that last year they did In fact, the London Police Service in Ontario did in fact put out their National Transgender Day of Remembrance tweet, including here 2 police officers holding up a trans flag. So don't worry, there are 2 sides to this story.
They seized both my personal and work phone, as well as the work computer that I broadcast on Twitch from. Not only that, but the police seized my fiance's cell phones and laptop, as well as their external drive, which contained the only copy of their PhD thesis and other important university documents. Because of the negligence of the police, we were both left functionally unemployed, and I have spent thousands of dollars replacing our computers and cell phones so our lives aren't completely destroyed by what happened to us. After the police interrogated me and realized this is a situation that has happened to me before, I was released with no charges. Without my device...
Bazinga. You know, normally I don't let the original video play this long, but she's delivering all of this in such a rote and matter-of-fact fashion that it's actually faster for her to do it than for me to explain. Also, I take forever to explain anything, so, you know. You can finish the rest of the video on your own time if you want, because we're about to synthesize. So, we all know what led up to this point. Keffals, I'll just say, I'm more used to saying Keffals than Clara, you know. Keffals, very raucous online figure, very zany, likes ratioing people, blah, blah. You may not have known this because I try not to talk about the drama stuff too much, not only because it's tedious, but also ongoing. But she's got a huge hate cult behind her. I mean, people despise her. It's mostly the Kiwi Farms community, which seems to sort of ideologically... It's as far as I can tell, it's like half Nazis and half Destiny fans. That's like just flatly, like that just seems to be the case. I'm sure there's a lot, you know, whatever. The only thing that I've seen from Destiny on all this was him like shit-talking her for the money she's raised in a GoFundMe after this. Like, oh, that's what you get for being ducks these days, huh? And then you've got the Nazi types, whatever. So, I don't know. Yeah, I know I repeat myself, blah, blah. I'm sure there's a great deal of nuance and context to the specific, you know, ways in which people affiliated have decided to celebrate the doxing of the trans chick. Whatever. Yeah, it's a whole thing. So there are so many... hey, Keffals, what's up? Hey, Vaush, if you want me on to talk, around here there's been some updates recently. Keffals, what the fuck would you know about this? Anyway, so the problem here is that if you're a trans woman and you accumulate... okay, yeah, you can come on. Just DM me on Discord. If you accumulate enough antagonism online, you have to understand being trans is like a multiplying factor. Like, if you're a white cis straight guy, you have the maximum amount of leeway to fuck around before finding out online. And if you're a trans woman, the fuck around find out threshold is so thin that you don't even really have to fuck around. You know, you just sort of find out by being there. You can just kind of, you're just all the time finding out. It's a very unfortunate situation. You know, she could have been killed, but she wasn't. Now, before she DMs me, you know, don't know how fast she is on the draw, I wanted to talk a little bit about the fallout from this incident. So there's actually been a surprising amount of media coverage, which is good because the media coverage has been favorable. This is Amar Khan, global news journalist. London Police Service Chief Steve Williams just released a statement on the Keffals backup swatting incident. That's right. The actual London Police Department, and this is London, Canada, by the way, not London, England, just so you know, has actually been forced to make a statement following their behavior. Because, guys, this is a serious deal. It's fake London, all right? You got some fake cops at the head. Pointing guns at people, taking a swatting attempt fully seriously, booking them, seizing their property, their computer, their means of livelihood, booking them under a dead name. It points to a bias here. You know, swatting is a serious deal. It's difficult enough to assign blame under regular circumstances when it's like, you know, how much can the police be expected to really know? How much due diligence should be expected? But then you add in the whole, like, seemingly malicious dead naming thing, and it really makes this seem like kind of targeted malice on the part of the police, the way they handled all of this. I guess we can bring Keffals on to talk about it on account of, maybe her knowing more than me. Here, I've got other links I'll show after. Or maybe during.
Hello.
There it is. Yeah, sorry, a Windows update shuffled all my audio settings.
Oh, damn.
Pretty cringe. How you doing?
Uh, it's been a lot, but overall, I think I'm okay.
Oh, you've been able to mobilize quite a bit of attention. I swear, getting a public statement from a police department is a pretty big deal, you know?
Yeah, he put out another statement today too, actually. Um, I was right here. I'll throw it in your chat.
Yeah, please. I see there's the London Free Press has put out an article. I see a CBC article as well, which incorrectly states that you are trans. But apart from that, seems to be fairly on the point.
Yeah, no, the media response was insane. Even Jagmeet Singh, the leader of the NDP, ended up making a statement about it.
I saw
It
that.
it went all the way from local to national in Canada.
Here's the latest statement on the London. Wow, this is a lefty meme right here from the London Service Police Chief Steve Williams. As a result of further investigation, we do not believe the threatening emails received by City Hall officials originated with Miss Sorrenti. Oh, that's nice. So they're coming out with banger info, like the swatting attempt that we fell for days ago was swatting. That's definitely what people are looking for from them. This is a lot to read, and I'm also illiterate.
Oh yeah.
Weren't a bunch of people? Oh, I saw this. I saw this on Twitter as well. It really speaks to the quality of your opposition. I saw people being like, I bet this is all fake. I bet actually they took the computers because she is a pedophile and it's all child porn.
God.
And then you posted the fucking warrant with the info listed and like nothing changed because they don't care and they're ontologically opposed to the concept of telling the truth.
They didn't even look into it. They just heard swatting and they thought someone like made a prank call in order to get the police to knock on my door or something. Someone impersonated who I was, included a photo of a firearm that I talked to a city councilor who was kind enough to share the contents of the email with me. The firearm was not anywhere on the internet. Whoever did this, that was their firearm, most likely.
Well, here in the States, we have firearms aplenty, so it's not too hard to get plenty of brand new pictures. I saw the Quartering put out a hit video in which he celebrated you getting swatted, which I think he's taken the position against before, but he also doesn't really believe in anything, so...
It's so funny when the Quartering and Destiny have worse positions on this than Keemstar, who came into my Twitch chat and like congratulated me for getting my stuff back.
I
He said
saw
swatting
that!
was awful.
I saw that. Yeah, here. Congratulations getting your stuff back. Hopefully they catch who's responsible for swatting you. I actually think this is really lovely. It's kind of like it's like a very unreliable moral barometer that just this once seems to have aligned with the cosmos. And it was for you. You
I was really
made him have a good take.
I think this is like the worst thing with transphobia, really, because of the fact that I was trans, I was able to get all of this media attention around swatting, which is an issue that affects literally all of the biggest content creators. And you think that they would be cheering me on for it, because if it could become a national conversation in both the US and Canada, maybe something would actually change.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's directly linked to the attitudes that police have on, at least here in the States, right? On like no-knock warrants or like the militarization of the police force. Because I know it wasn't that long ago that when there was a threat of something violent happening in a house, like SWAT teams are a fairly recent thing, like they would send like a squad car out there to knock or to like peer from the other side of the street or to, like something like that. Or they would send a call over because a lot of people had like listed landlines. Like I'm from the police, is everything all right over there? Like that kind of thing. But now when people get like, when people get swatted, I mean, it's like fucking 80 dudes in hand-me-down military tech, which is dangerous for everyone, not just streamers,
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well,
Yeah, no, I still can't believe this entire thing happened, but I'm glad I got my stuff back. They didn't apologize for the pointing the assault rifle at me
They never
or
will.
keeping me in custody for like 11 hours, but yeah, I'm glad that they at least said sorry for misgendering me and dead naming me.
Yeah, that's great and all. Um, yeah, how poorly written was the email? I mean, are we like? I
Oh,
guess
it
I should
was
say.
bad.
So give me okay. So okay, pretend I'm a cop, right? Um, and I'm looking at this email that was sent to all the city council members, and I believe it completely. I think this is a real threat. What is the highest my IQ can be? Give me a number.
Oh my God. I'm gonna say 90 or 95.
Okay, so you have to be like a bit dim for this one to land.
Yeah, there are so many things that didn't make any sense about it that it kept saying
Providing your dead
trans.
name.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, it said transgendered multiple times in it. When it said cisgender, it put a space in between cis and gender. And apparently my name was even misspelled in the email.
Ah,
Like,
well. And now to be fair, I've done that. So, they're really I'm sorry for lowering the standards of police investigation through the knowledge that there are people like me who will have to warrant taking that seriously. Really though, like in all seriousness, I'm happy that you're well and also that you didn't get shot. Um, I know that you Canadians, to you it's something it's mythical, but bullets are actually quite dangerous when moving at high speeds.
yeah, I've never seen such a thing. I've never shot a gun before. The only time I've ever held a gun, it was an American friend of mine. He came over with all his guns, and he's always so eager to show us all his guns because most of us have never like seen guns before.
Hmm. Oh yeah, it's a delight for us, yeah. Because I had an English friend, well, a girlfriend when I was younger, and of course to the English, the idea of owning a gun is like insane. Like completely ridiculous, you know? So they're just they're delighted. Any opportunity to show them off. Well, are you still coming to TwitchCon, by the way?
I don't know.
Yeah, you've had a lot to deal with.
Yeah, I have to
Yeah.
move.
Eh,
Though at the same time, like I haven't left my apartment yet because I feel like all of this media attention is going to make sure that the police do not do this again because they are not used to this kind of attention. No one even knew London, Ontario existed before this incident.
Seattle is one of the few cities in the world that has an anti-swatting registry.
I did know that actually. One of my
It's
friends was telling me about this.
more cities should have it. I mean, it's kind of common sense, I think, really. It's this ultimately it comes down to an issue of public trust, right?
Hmm.
The kind of claims that you have to make to get a police department to SWAT you. I assume like they've got a bomb, they're gonna kill someone, they've already killed some wacky shit like that. And if you have a registry beforehand, you have to wonder from the police's side, are people who are going to commit crimes in the future really going to pre-sign up for the anti-swatting list just so that when they do a crime, they get an extra few minutes to explain themselves over a phone call before the SWAT team comes in, if it's found to be true? And the answer to that is no. That's insane. Obviously,
Right.
this is overwhelmingly a useful, but yeah, it just depends the department, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, I'm completely rambling. I want to talk
Oh,
about
it's okay.
the real issue at hand here, which is the fact that you are now the owner of a new Bugatti. Is that correct?
A what?
A Bugatti, 90,000 Canadian dollars. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think my GoFundMe did end up making like $85,000. I've been seeing people doing discourse about that forever, and I just like, do they understand how much lawyers cost? A 3-day civil trial in Canada is like $60,000.
I didn't know that. That seems like a lot of money.
Yeah, because I've
Uh,
already hired a lawyer and I'm looking into taking legal action, but I was advised not to talk about it until I actually do take legal action. So
that
I
is
haven't
correct. You
made a
shouldn't.
statement.
Well, I've seen the people seething online about it. That you're lying about the amount you're going to. First of all, I want to make my principles clear. Okay, if you put forward a GoFundMe and you say you're going to do something with the money, and you get way more money than you need, I don't give a fuck what you do. People chose to give you that money as long as you do the things you've said you're going to do in the campaign. You know, people are like,
Yeah.
well, does she need 90,000? Well, people donated it as long as she does the thing stipulated in the GoFundMe thing. I mean, like okay, right? Like you can't
Yeah.
force people into some additional charitable action because you over donated. You can see the amount already raised when you choose to donate.
No, it's funny too because
Sorry.
the people who are bringing up this concern don't give a shit about me either.
Well, of course not, right? It's always bad faith. I said this about the fucking Hassan's house. I've said this about everything, you know. Every time
Yeah.
people are like, well, actually, I'm very concerned about the responsible use of the money given to that. Like, no. We're not talking about, like, embezzling funds here. People willfully gave this money. But I do hope you use it well.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm really thankful that there was this kind of response because I would not have been able to afford to take any sort of action if I didn't do this.
Um, Hold on, sorry. Just a
Oh,
bad
it's
habit of
okay.
mine. Yeah, it's I'm trying to wonder what the best case scenario would be here. I mean, obviously, you would be going for some kind of civil, you know, like please give me lots of money and God bless you. Absolutely. How the fuck else will they learn, you know? And by the way, if you ever do succeed and get a settlement, which would be years from now, if that's the case, this always takes so long, they're going to give you shit for that too. Wow, you sued the police and got $2 million. Why haven't you distributed that to 8,000 needy trans people on Twitter? Yet
There's
no,
no, yeah,
impugn you for
what
it.
you were saying earlier was right though. There's just there is a much higher bar for trans people than cis people. It's insane how high the bar is.
Well, I mean, that's always been my issue. It's any minority group or lefties where, you know, there are YouTubers, enormously powerful advocates for their cause. Do they make money? You know, does every dollar go to some kind of like charitable kitten orphanage? You know, probably not. They do an overall good job, but this effort dedicated to hyper fixating on the fiduciary responsibility of people who are figureheads for minority or progressive causes, I have never seen this lead to anything good. And every time it manifests, it's weaponized in bad faith by people who just dislike the cause or the people doing it. I've never seen an exception to that.
Yeah, and it it's not good, it's not fair, and it's really weird also to expect me to have all of this stuff planned out when as soon as I got out of police custody, the first thing I had to do is like, okay, I need to get a replacement computer. I need to replace all my phones and I need to work on how I'm going to make a statement about this, how I'm going to move forward and try and pressure the police into giving me my shit back. Thankfully, it worked, but I didn't plan out the next month in advance of what was going to happen. I'm taking things day by day.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to explain to me or to my audience.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're fully supportive. It takes quite a long time to get these balls rolling. The fact that you were able to get them rolling so quickly, I mean, right after it happened, I have here an NBC article with your name in it. Um,
Yeah.
you know, the statements from the police department, Jagmeet Singh speaking on it.
Hmm.
You already have, well, you shouldn't tell me anything legally, but you've already begun. It seems like, you know, you spoke to a lawyer or whatever. You're working quite fast. I don't think anybody could ask for more, frankly.
Yeah. I'm just excited to get back to streaming when things finally calm down. I think it's probably going to be after I move, though.
That's reasonable. Obviously, you know, hope every possible precaution is taken when you
Hmm.
move. Um, and I wish you all the luck in the in the world with that. How are you feeling though? I mean, it wouldn't be unreasonable of you to feel quite shaken up. Uh,
Yeah.
all things considered.
I'm kind of up and down, honestly. Like, I'll just have moments where I just feel like really overwhelmed by everything that's going on. I had to deal with a very traumatic incident followed up by this huge media campaign around me and then all of the people trying to capitalize on this by making conspiracy theory videos or dunking on me and it's so fucking much. I'm I'm just like now that it's calming down a bit, I'm just trying to take it easy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, you're known by your enemies, right? The
Yeah.
conspiracism surrounding you has been fucking insane. Like
Oh, I
the
know.
quality and the quantity, some truly, cripplingly low IQ takes in high volume. Um, it's remarkable. I didn't really think this trend would last because you've been making people angry for a while now. Not even, I mean, for really doing anything wrong at all, even by their standards, just sort of existing and being loud. And it seems to keep escalating to extents that I really wouldn't have expected. I'm hoping it stops escalating at this point. Feels like a good place to stop. And I hope that you get some fucking rest for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of scared about that. Like, it started with just online harassment, it gets into doxing, now it's getting into swatting. How does it escalate from there? That is a very big concern in my head at this point.
I mean, it escalates with somebody killing you, right? Just hopefully that
Yeah.
doesn't happen. That's the next point on the, yeah. So hopefully it doesn't. Um, I mean, if it's any credit, it's like an extraordinarily unlikely outcome. Uh, in Historically speaking, that just does not happen very much to content creators.
Gotta say, if someone murdered me, I think I'd be pretty bummed out about it.
Yeah, I think a lot of us would. Um, I am sorry. So, because I don't want to belabor the point here. Uh, Anything in the near future that you're looking forward to?
I'm honestly just like I'm looking forward to getting out of where I live. I'm just starting looking for houses. My landlord waived the 60-day notice, so as soon as I find a place, I can call a moving company and just get started.
Seems
Think I'm gonna
reasonable.
get a puppy. I want a little dog.
That also seems reasonable. Have you
Yeah.
considered getting a cat?
I already have a cat.
Oh,
But she's really grumpy. My
oh,
chatters keep trying to get me to get her on stream, but she always growls at me.
oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
My cats are preposterously friendly, so I'm sort of biased in that direction. I guess a dog is a more reliably friendly animal,
Yeah.
to count on. I'm sorry, I'm reading this NBC article because that's probably the highest profile
Oh
media piece
yeah,
that's
they
been written.
they called me today for that interview.
Interview. Oh wait, I haven't scrolled down yet. Does this include? Oh, it
Yeah,
does.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, this is actually pretty extensive. Okay, I didn't know if this would just be like like an info report on like just pulled from the headlines basically. But
Oh
this is
God,
actually
yeah.
pretty
I've
good.
been responding to media requests all day. And like I remember the day after I put the YouTube video out, or I think it was the day of, I ended up like going for an on-camera interview, or I think two different on-camera interviews, and I talked to like four other journalists that day. It was just like insane. I had never talked to that many journalists. It was also really refreshing because I forgot that when you actually go outside and touch grass and talk to normal people, they don't they don't have like insane online discourse brain about issues like this.
Hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. They're. I mean, it must be very validating because getting all this media attention. I mean, obviously, this is kind of like an affirmation of wrongdoing. None of this could be happening if your cause or your concern was illegitimate or minor. This is an
Mhm.
NBC article doesn't just happen because of online drama. Like this is like a testament to the righteousness of your cause.
Yeah. I am really excited for when I get further into pursuing legal action and I can actually talk about what I'm doing. Because while I am considering a civil action, there is something that I'm doing that I don't expect to make any money from, but I think it's really important and that it's going to help a lot of people if I can get it through. But I can't talk about it until, as I said, it solidifies a bit more.
Of course. Never put that in jeopardy. Um
Yeah.
I this is really nice. Not the situation. The
Hmm.
representation though. Usually when there's some big discourse or like a set of articles or media attention or whatever on some misfortune befalling a trans person, um
Hmm.
it's usually well, it's of maybe marginal public interest. A lot of trans stuff is still only broadly spoken about in those terminally online circles you're referring to. Um, which doesn't mean that it's not important. It's more just like a lot of people kind of glaze over it. But from all the attention that I've seen being given here, this feels like a, I don't know, of common interest. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah,
this
no,
like it resonates. Like it feels like it reaches in language and in content people where they are.
yeah, I think it's because it's both. It's not only talking about trans issues, but swatting is something that could happen to anyone. And what happened to me specifically, it's kind of terrifying to think that anyone can just take your name, slap it on a burner email, say that they're going to go to City Hall and kill a bunch of people and they have a gun. And that's all it takes for the police to raid your house.
Yeah, it could be done to anyone by anyone. You don't really need much info at all. I mean, you could literally, like, there could be like a classmate you don't like, and you could
Hmm.
completely anonymously just make a new email account and do that with their name and address, and that's that, you know? Um, it's basically the it is just
Yeah.
it's a weapon. It not only is it a weapon, it's the worst weapon. It's a completely anonymous, functionally, incredibly dangerous, invisible weapon that you can deploy like with complete impunity
Mhm.
against
Have you
anyone that
ever
you don't
heard
like.
of Proton Mail?
Yeah, I've heard the term. I don't. Isn't that just an email server?
Yeah, it's an end-to-end encrypted email service that's based in Switzerland. And both the emails where they attempted to swap me in Toronto, where I do not live, and in London, where I do live, used that. And they don't cooperate with police, so they were not able to even get access to the email or who sent those emails. And it's kind of scary. Anyone could make an email with Proton and do that, and they can never figure out who you are.
Yeah, it's a I mean, a lot of stuff online is really difficult to trace. The issue is just how fucking hair trigger the cops are. We live in an era of essentially the lowest rate of violent crime that we've experienced in a really long time, and that's in spite of the fact that the world is ending. You know, if you grade on a curve and diminish the violent crime rate, accounting for the fact that the world is ending, we actually have zero violent crimes in all of North America, which is something the police should probably take into account when deciding to SWAT houses off of an email and nothing else. Sorry, yeah, there's just so much gets wrapped into this, you know?
I know there were so many layers to this.
Well, this is if nothing else, this is a good bridge for you to discuss these issues because these issues have been on your mind for a long time, haven't they? It's just now that things have finally come to a head, you can get media people listening to you talk about them.
Yeah, I've been talking about getting harassed online for months, but it took it escalating to this point for me to actually be able to talk about it. And it's kind of crazy, I've had a lot of journalists and media people following me recently, and then they'll see the state of my Twitter replies and they'll just be like, what the fuck? Like they are not used to seeing this level of deranged hatred.
Yeah. I mean, it's yeah, you certainly have attracted quite a crowd.
Yeah.
I can't believe the police would book you under your dead name. That's
Yeah, they said
so
in
stupid.
in the newest statement that it was apparently because at some point before the age of 16, I made it into their record management system and they never updated it. That was their excuse.
Did you ever get arrested at 16?
Nope.
I don't believe them.
Yeah, I have no idea why that would have happened. I have no priors, even as a juvenile.
Yeah, I don't. Hold on. I can't think of a sing. Yeah, no. I suspect that's complete bullshit. Um, I mean, I guess we'll never know. Like, we will literally never know.
Well, I actually will know because One of the first things I'm going to be doing is a Freedom of Information Act request so I can gain access to the case file despite the fact that it's an ongoing investigation.
Well, that'd be pretty fucking based.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I'm sort of limited in my ability to be glib here. Obviously, I mostly just hope that you're able to get the move-in process, done pretty quickly, and that it's not too much of a hassle. Do you have don't tell me what, but do you have your eye on any like new properties in particular, or do you still have to go through the whole, like, you haven't even begun looking yet?
I was looking at a few places, but I don't have my eye on any specific place.
Gotcha. Well, good luck. Make sure to check inside the cupboards to see they didn't paint over any dead roaches. Uh, it's, you know. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is such a personal issue. I feel like, oh God, if this happened to somebody I didn't know, I feel like I'd have more jokes at the forefront. Is there anything that you want to tell my community? I mean, obviously, if they're so
Jeez.
inclined, they should donate to the GoFundMe, whatever
Uh,
amount you think would be needed for your legal action, and then some, because again, if people over donate, I don't care. I don't fuck I will never get mad about that. But yeah, what do you have? Stay in school, don't do drugs? I don't think you would say that last one.
yeah, no, I don't think I would either. What did I say to your community? Hello, Vaush's community. How you doing today? I didn't come with anything prepared.
Me either.
It
I
was
didn't
mostly,
expect you to be in chat.
yeah, I'm just happy to talk to you. This is the most I've laughed in a bit.
I'm happy to talk to you too.
Yeah.
It's been fairly preoccupied. Oh, and so I didn't get to say it earlier. I'm gonna fully ruin the fucking joke.
Okay.
But earlier I said fake. It says fake because you're trans, and I was gonna say you can't be trans because you don't play a bunch of video games. That was gonna be my
That's
zinger,
true. I
but I
don't play many video games and I'm very bad at them.
I needed to establish that to follow to the next thing, which is once you're done with all of the media interviews, you should find like a cool relaxing game to play for a bit off stream to
I need to
calm.
find another. I finished Stray. I heard you wouldn't play it because you didn't want to see sad cat
Yeah,
be sad.
and make me cry. That's
Give
my
me
answer.
some give me some game recommendations that's not a Souls game.
You like
I'm
open
too
world
much of a
games, right?
baby for Souls games. I do like open world games.
Let's see. Chat saying Slime Rancher. Outer Wilds is a brilliant game. That is an open world game. Oh, if you could play Outer Wilds, I feel like Outer Wilds is like the game equivalent of Ego Death. When you're on enough psilocybin, like, it is such a good game. If you could ever sit down for that one, I would give that like a solid 11 out of
Oh
10.
shit. I do have a copy of that. I wasn't able to play it because I didn't have a good enough computer when I bought it, but I should give it a shot.
Wait, you got your shit back from the police, but you bought a computer in the meantime. Does that mean you have
Yeah,
two computers now?
I have two computers now. I don't know exactly what to do with these two computers. I know some streamers have two computers set up, so that sounds like overkill.
It's because OBS or SLOBS or whatever else you use, it uses a disproportionate amount of CPU space. So what a lot of people will do is they'll have a second computer that just does the streaming, and the first computer will actually play the game, and they'll just run an HDMI cable to the second and output the screen and the audio. So that way that computer can just focus on the streaming. But that's only necessary if you're doing really high-end stuff, I think. I don't do that.
Yeah, but I'm honestly probably just going to keep my old computer at one of my relatives' house. So if something crazy ever happens like this again, I have a computer backup.
That's not a bad idea at all. I'm due for an upgrade myself. Wait, what's the graphics card on your old computer?
Ah, shit.
What
It
about your
was
new
like
one?
I think it was a GeForce RTX 3080. I think it's the same card in both.
Wait, that's better than mine. God damn it.
Was it better than yours?
Yeah. Hey, listen,
Damn.
they found out how to dox your. I'm coming for your family's house. I'm gonna get that goddamn
Fuck.
graphics card. That shit's
No.
mine. They'll get the police report will be sent by you this time. You know, they'll just be like a hairy man tunneled through the second story window and dove for it and fucking ran out. Um, at least graphic card prices have dropped. I can buy some of my own right now
Yeah,
without
the
taking a
the
mortgage.
chip shortage was insane.
And it just ended. I don't even know why it ended. I never even looked up why it ended. It just stopped.
Yeah, I no idea.
I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much of your time. Seriously, I'm glad that you're well, you know, ish,
Mhm.
relative, you know, well grading on a curve. Outer Wilds is a great game. Also, Disco Elysium will make you more of a communist than you already are, uh,
Ooh.
which is cool. That's a good game. Also, very, very good. Um, but either way, take care of yourself. My community, you know, stands with you on this.
Uh, thanks, Vaush. I guess I'll go. Guess I'll go do some gaming. That sounds like a really nice break from all of this stuff.
Yeah, and you know, it's a good reprieve when you're dealing with a bunch of moving bullshit. Do you have people around who can help you move and everything? Like it can be like a relatively smooth process, or is this going to be a nightmare?
Oh no, I'm gonna hire a moving company. I'm just gonna have people do it for me. I don't want to deal with any stress.
That's fair. I see the deluxe $90,000 Canadian charging moving company. Very smart. Gonna bring all of your furniture over on a palanquin, you know, on a red carpet. They sort of lay out in front of the moving guys. Uh, all right,
Just
I'm being a goofball. Thank you for coming on.
no worries. Have a good stream.
Take care. Boy, there are a lot of jokes that I can't say. Yeah, Keffals, take care. Horrible situation. Donate if you want to. What? Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Every other word out of Keffal's mouth is a slur when she's not streaming, I assume. But no slurs you can't say? That's true. I have essentially unlimited leeway there. Vaush to edgy boy. It's not about being edgy. It's more like it's more you know how they say tragedy plus time equals comedy? There's another factor which is distance. You know, tragedy plus distance. That's why we can make jokes about HIMARS liquidating you know, the Russian ammo depots over in the Donbass, you know? This is a situation in which there is no distance and no time. And also no contempt, because I like Keffals. God, she really makes people angry over nothing. Don't let anyone tell you it's not because she's trans, by the way. Because like I've been online long enough to see so many people stir so much more shit than Keffals and get a fraction of the hate for it. Like you can never convince me it's not a trans thing. Like 0%. I've seen so many people who look like me, who are just online shit show goofy boys who do not attract this seething hate community, you know, for anywhere near as much, you know. You think she has worse haters than you? Oh, for sure. Oh, yeah, well, absolutely, absolutely. Like I said, it's a multiplying factor, you know? Not always remember this, okay? You need to remember this, all right? So much of what it so much of what it so much of what a person can be is a product of forces that are invisible to everyone, oftentimes including the person they're affecting. You know, when people talk about, you know, why are there so many men in X field? Why so many women this or, you know, why all this disparity and racial representation or this or that or whatever? So much of it, implicit bias, is so interwoven, is so omnipresent socially. You can never, ever doubt its influence. It's everywhere, you know? And it affects everyone too, not just the bad people or whatever. You know, it affects good fucking progressive types as well too. It does. It absolutely does. These things are so seditious, so inbuilt. And a lot of people know that implicit bias is there and weaponize it, knowing people will be more charitable to actual hate. That's what the Nazis do, you know? Nazis hate me, you know. They hate Keffals, sure. But they know that there is less a base of charitability when it comes to Keffals. You know, they go after weaker targets in a social sense, you know, people who are less likely to have others come to their defense. But you know what? Some good news here. Not so weak a target. Huh. Not so weak a target. Not so weak a target. Yeah, what's up, Keffals? Keffals has a message to deliver. Message to my haters. How did I not see this one? I would have liked or retweeted it if I did. And this has 66,000. How did I not see this? Okay. Trans woman, Twitch streamer, Keffals. Trans woman, Twitch streamer, fucking cringe. Keffals, why is there only one of her? Doxed, not good. Arrested. Okay, we're dropping the bit. So right, she's taken of likely to traumatize in her future, but isn't going to let her hate rule the day. I'm not backing down. I know that the work I do is incredibly valuable, and thousands of trans people told me I have people almost every day saying they came out to their families because of me, she said. If they want me to stop the next time, they better manipulate the police and deploy the trigger. Damn! Fucking hitting it from the back. And possibly all other directions at the same time. Sort of omnidirectional there. Hell yeah. Goes hard. Hold on. Alright, it's just so cool I have to wear my shades. There we go. It's very good. It's very good. I love having these shades with me now. It's very good. It really does mark a step forward, guys, you know. You know, back in the 1980s and 90s, you know, when they didn't even say trans people, they said like transvestite or transsexual or whatever. You know, what media representation do they get when they're attacked or victimized or hate crimed or whatever? You know, you have like a local news article written on like a streetwalker or a cross-dresser attack or some shit like that. And if you get that even, you know, a lot of the times that shit just disappears. Nowadays, you have national politicians and news outlets rushing to get a scoop on the story of a trans woman being treated poorly. That is a big step up, you know. And the massive, you know, wave of antipathy being, you know, drawn against trans people in America right now. You know, keep in mind, reactionary movements react to something, right? The reaction here is the increasing acceptance. They would not be trying to put her down if they did not fear her rise, etc., etc. Do you think Biden will talk about Keffals? I can state with near certainty that he will. You look like an 80s cop when you wear those. Yeah, do I look transphobic? I feel like the full beard signifies that I'm not transphobic. If I just had a mustache, though, I feel like, you know, the trans people in my audience would handcuff themselves. Oh, I was gonna make a joke about arresting themselves, but now it's a horny thing because you look like you're trans mask. I consider that a tremendous compliment. Trans mask people are less cringe than trans femme or cis mask people. Vaush, you look like a chaser. Okay, all right. All right, okay. All right. Let's not get crazy here with our accusations. I'm still transphobic, of course. I wouldn't let you guys down.